Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 1986 Strat-O-Matic Baseball Major League Baseball replay. We are heading into Week 19, which is from August 11th through August 17th. So, as always, let's start off with the recap. We got heading into the week, the American League division leaders are the Toronto Blue Jays at 65 and 48. They are in first place by 7 games. In the Central, the Detroit Tigers are 68 and 45. They are ahead by 13 games. And in the West, you got the California Angels at 70 and 42, and they lead by 11 games as well. In the National League, in the East, we got the Montreal Expos, who are 64 and 45. They lead by 3.5 games. In the Central, we got the Chicago Cubs at 55 and 55. They lead by 2 games. And in the West, you got the Houston Astros at 64 and 47, and they lead by 2 games. Taking a look in the wild card situation in the American League side, the Oakland Athletics at 60 and 54. They lead by 1 game. On the National League side, we got the wild card 1 team is the Los Angeles Dodgers at 62 and 45. They're up by a half game over the wild card 2nd team, the New York Mets, at 61 and 49, and they lead by 5.5 games above the final spot in the wild card, the Philadelphia Phillies, at 56 and 55, and they lead by a half game in that final spot. Heading into some trades and transactions, starting to slow down towards the end of the season, but the major impact from this week is the Chicago White Sox signing a recently released starting pitcher Steve Carlton from the San Francisco Giants. The White Sox have now picked up another quality start pitcher. And then there's a couple trades. One of the bigger trades, the Milwaukee Brewers trade starting pitcher Danny Darwin to the Houston Astros for rookie starting pitcher Mark Knudsen. So they kind of swapped starting pitchers there. And another signing by the Chicago White Sox. They released outfielder from the New York Mets, George Foster. So that is your new crop of players heading to their team starting this week. So let's head into the week. So we're going to start with Monday, August 11th. San Diego Padres at the Atlanta Braves. The Braves rally falls flat in their loss. San Diego wins 5-4. Toronto Blue Jays at the Baltimore Orioles. Blue Jays fly past the Orioles in the win. Blue Jays 2 to Orioles 1. Minnesota Twins at the California Angels. Twins knock around California starting pitcher John Candelaria for his worst start of the season. Twins over Angels 7-5. Pittsburgh Pirates at the Chicago Cubs. Cubs get back on track in the win over the Pirates 5-3. San Francisco Giants at the Cincinnati Reds. Cincinnati's first baseman Nick Esaski hits a walk-off 3-run homer. Reds over Giants 4-1. Boston Red Sox at the Detroit Tigers. Detroit's third baseman Darnell Cole hits 2 home runs in the win. Tigers over the Red Sox 9-4. Los Angeles Dodgers at the Houston Astros. Astros smash the Dodgers in the rout. Astros win big 11-2. Chicago White Sox at the Milwaukee Brewers. Chicago White Sox starting pitcher Neil Allen shuts down the Brewers 1-0. St. Louis Cardinals at the Montreal Expos. The Cards stampede the Expos 11-4. Cleveland Indians at the New York Yankees. New York Yankees right fielder Dave Winfield hits a 3-run bomb in the win. Yankees over Indians 7-2. Seattle Mariners at the Oakland Athletics. M's bats torch A's staff. The Mariners big 15-9. New York Mets and Philadelphia Phillies. Philadelphia's closer Kent Tekulve blows the game in the ninth. Mets win 4-2. Heading off to Tuesday, August 12th. Padres at Braves. Atlanta's bullpen squanders the lead and then the win in the loss. Padres win 9-5. Blue Jays at Orioles. Toronto loses for the first time in 10 games in beating from the Orioles. Orioles big 10-2. Twins at Angels. Angels 3-run second is enough for the win. Angels win 3-1. Pirates at Cubs. Cubs win sloppy slugfest with a wild ninth. Cubs win 13-12. Giants at Reds. San Francisco Giants right fielder Candy Maldonado's grand slam contributes to a 7-run ninth inning in the win 11-2. White Sox at the Tigers. Tigers center fielder Chet Lemon's 2-run triple in the sixth seals Sox fate 6-4. Dodgers at Astros. Los Angeles starting pitcher Fernando Valenzuela throws a complete game shutout, 6-0 victory. Red Sox at the Royals. Boston's designated hitter Don Baylor and right fielder Dwight Evans' home runs carries the Sox to victory 4-2. Cardinals at Expos. Montreal Expos starting pitcher Jay Tibbs earns his 12th victory, allowing 1 run through 7. Expos win 5-2. Cleveland Indians at the New York Yankees. New York Yankees starting pitcher Dennis Rasmussen gets his 18th win over the Tribe, 9-4. Mariners at Athletics. Seattle hits 6 home runs in the win, 8-5. Mets at Phillies. Mets torch Philadelphia starting pitcher Charles Hudson in the win, 11-5. And the final game of the day, the Milwaukee Brewers at the Texas Rangers. Texas's starting pitcher Ed Correa shuts down Milwaukee through 8 in the win, 2-0. Heading to Wednesday the 13th. Padres at Braves. San Diego starting pitcher Andy Hawkins cruises to victory 5-1. Blue Jays at the Orioles. Toronto starting pitcher Jimmy Key throws a complete game shutout 6-0. Twins at Angels. California's third baseman Doug DeCence's RBI double in the 8th helps the Angels in their win 3-2. Pirates at Cubs. Pirates hang on to the victory 4-3. Giants at Reds. San Francisco starting pitcher Mike Lacoste cools the Reds' bats 4-1. White Sox at Tigers. White Sox bullpen blows a 3-run lead to lose 4-3 to the Tigers. Dodgers at Astros. Los Angeles starting pitcher Bob Welch and bullpen shut down the Astros for a second night in a row, 4-0. Red Sox at Royals. Solo home runs late give the Sox the lead and the game 3-2. Cardinals at the Expos. Montreal second baseman Tom Foley hits a game-winning sac fly in the 12th. Expos over the Cards 2-1. Indians at Yankees. Indians 6-run 6th overcomes deficit and rallies to win 8-5. Seattle at Oakland. A's rattle Seattle starting pitcher Mark Langston all over the Coliseum in the win, 7-1. Mets at Phillies. New York Mets starting pitcher Bob Ojeda earns 18th victory of the season, 4-2. And the final game, Brewers at Rangers. Texas starting pitcher Mike Mason and the Pen shut down the Brew Crew 1-0. Heading into Thursday, August 14th. Padres at Braves. Atlanta starting pitcher Dave Palmer shuts down Padres through 8, along with home runs, along with Bob Horner's grand slam in the win. Braves over Padres 5-0. Giants at Reds. San Francisco Giants starting pitcher Vida Blue allows one incomplete game victory, 6-1. Baltimore Orioles at the Cleveland Indians. Cleveland starting pitcher Tom Candiotti throws complete game shutout, 5-0. White Sox at Tigers. White Sox fail to overcome 5-run deficit in loss. Tigers win 6-4. Dodgers at Astros. Astros explode with 7 runs in the 5th in the beatdown of the Dodgers, 10-1. Red Sox at Royals. Boston starting pitcher Roger Clemens throws complete game shutout, 5-0. Chicago Cubs at the Montreal Expos. Montreal's rookie starting pitcher Bob Sebra throws gem against the Cubs with 13 Ks in the win, 6-1. St. Louis Cardinals at the New York Mets. New York Mets outfielder Mookie Wilsons hits a solo walk-off home run in extras. Mets win 8-7 and 10. Pittsburgh Pirates at the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies sink the Pirates in landslide victory, 11-3. Minnesota Twins at the Seattle Mariners. Twins third baseman Gary Gaetti's 2-run homer in the 8th seals the M's fate, 5-1. And the final game, Milwaukee Brewers at the Texas Rangers. Milwaukee's 4-run 4th is enough to cruise to the win, 6-3. Now heading into the weekend series, Friday, August 15th. Houston Astros at the Atlanta Braves. Braves can't overcome 5-run first by the Astros put up in their loss. Astros win 6-3. Detroit Tigers at the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox battle back from a 5-run first inning deficit to go ahead in the 8th with an RBI double by third baseman Wade Boggs. Red Sox win 9-8. Oakland Athletics at the California Angels. Oakland's starting shortstop Alfredo Griffin sac fly in the 11th is enough for the win. Oakland wins 3-2 and 11. Milwaukee Brewers at the Chicago White Sox. White Sox catcher Ron Hassey goes 3 for 4 and has 4 RBIs in the win. White Sox big, 11-3. San Diego Padres at the Cincinnati Reds. Padres shut out the Reds, 5-0. Baltimore Orioles at the Cleveland Indians. The O's use 4 long balls to finish off the Indians, 7-3. New York Yankees at the Kansas City Royals. Yanks 3-run 12th sinks the Royals in extras, 5-2 and 12. In the first game of a doubleheader, Chicago Cubs at the Montreal Expos. Cubs pile on Expos starting pitcher Joe Hesketh in the win. Cubs win 8-2 in Game 1. In the nightcap, Cubs at Expos. Montreal starting pitcher Bryn Smith pitches a gem in the win, 3-1. St. Louis Cardinals at the New York Mets. New York Mets catcher Gary Carter's 3-run homer helps the Mets over the Cardinals, 4-2. Pittsburgh Pirates at the Philadelphia Phillies. Philadelphia's left fielder Jeff Stone's grand slam late pulls Phils ahead for good in the win, 6-2. Minnesota Twins at the Seattle Mariners. Twins rally from early deficit to win, 6-4. Los Angeles Dodgers at the San Francisco Giants. LA wins it with a 2-run homer in the top of the ninth by right fielder Mike Marshall. Dodgers over Giants, 7-6. Texas Rangers at the Toronto Blue Jays. Texas left fielder Gary Ward's grand slam in extras puts the Rangers past the Blue Jays, 6-3 in 11. Heading into Saturday, August 16th. Astros at the Braves. Braves are beaten by the long ball late, 3-2. Tigers at Red Sox. Boston Red Sox left fielder Jim Rice's hits walk-off home run in extras, 8-7 in 11. A's at Angels. California Angels right fielder George Hendricks hits walk-off double in extras. Angels win 4-3 in 11. Brewers at White Sox. White Sox starting pitcher Floyd Bannister shuts down the Brew Crew, 3-0. Padres at the Reds. Cincinnati Reds catcher Sal Butera hits big 3-run home run in the win, 6-3. O's at the Indians. The Tribe pummel the Birds in the win, 7-2. Yankees at Royals. Yankees DH Mike Easler's RBI double in the 12th helps the Yanks win 5-4 in 12. Cubs at Expos. Montreal's left fielder Tim Raines has walk-off sac fly. Expos win 5-4. Cardinals at the Mets. New York Mets starting pitcher Ron Darling shuts down the Cardinals 4-0. Pirates at Phillies. Philadelphia's second baseman Juan Samuel hits a walk-off RBI single in the 13th for the win. Phillies win 2-1. Twins at the Mariners. Twins knock the M's around the dome in the win. Twins big, 8-3. Dodgers at the Giants. San Diego starting pitcher Fernando Valenzuela blanks the Giants 3-0 for a second consecutive shutout. Rangers at Blue Jays. Toronto's right fielder Jesse Barfield's 33rd home run puts the Jays over the Rangers 5-4. And in the final games of the week, Sunday, August 17th, Astros at the Braves. Houston's third baseman Phil Gardner's solo shot in extras puts the Stros over the Braves 5-4 in 10. Tigers at Red Sox. Red Sox sweep the Tigers at Fenway 5-2. A's at Angels. The OK corral in Anaheim with a combination of 25 strikeouts for both teams. A's win late with 2 solo home runs, 3-1. Brewers at White Sox. White Sox get 4 in the first and carry it to victory, 7-4. Padres at the Reds. Padres bats beat Reds black and blue, 13-7. Orioles at the Indians. Indians pen blows the game in the 9th and lost to the O's 6-3. Yankees at Royals. Royals rough up starting pitcher, Yankees pitcher Dennis Rasmussen denying 19th win 6-2. Cubs at Expos. Cubs starting pitcher Steve Trout quiets the Expos in the win 7-2. Cardinals at Mets. Mets win the pitching duel 1-0. Pirates at Phillies. Phils come up short against cross-state rival Pirates 5-4. Twins at Mariners. Minnesota starting pitcher Frank Viola throws complete game shutout. Twins 4-0. Dodgers at Giants. Giants get hot late to overcome early deficit and win against rival Dodgers. Giants over Dodgers 5-2. And in the final game of the week, Texas Rangers at the Toronto Blue Jays. The young Rangers pitchers are doomed by walks yet again in loss north of the border. Blue Jays win 7-5. And that will finish out the week. So our Week 19 summary. The top teams of the week are the Mets at 7-0, Red Sox at 6-1, Padres at 5-2, Twins at 5-2, Astros at 5-2. The not top teams of the week: the Braves at 1-6, Brewers at 1-6, Cardinals at 1-6, Royals at 1-5, and the Pirates at 2-5. So taking a look at the American League standings as of the 17th, we got the Blue Jays in first at a 69-50 record. They're up 7.5 games over the Red Sox. In the Central, the Detroit Tigers are 72-48. They're up 12 over the Minnesota Twins. And in the West, California Angels are 7-3-65, best record in the American League. They're up 11 over the Athletics. The wild card standings as of the 17th. The Athletics are still holding strong. They're in first place with a 63-57 records. They're up by 1 game over the Rangers and the Red Sox. And the AL Power Rankings as of the 17th, we got Angels are 1, Tigers 2, Blue Jays 3, A's 4, Rangers 5, Red Sox 6, Orioles 7, Yankees 8, Twins 9, Indians 10, Royals 11, M's are 12, White Sox are 13th, and Brewers are 14th. And again, the Angels have the best record in the American League by at least 2 games over the Tigers with a 73-45 record. Heading over to the National League. In the East, Montreal Expos are 69-48, and they're up by 1 game over the New York Mets. Cincinnati Reds are 57-60, and they're up by a half game over the Cubs. And in the West, you got the Houston Astros at 69-49, and they're 3 games up over the Dodgers. And in the National League wild card standings, we got the New York Mets at the top wild card team at 68-49. They're up by 9.5 games in the wild card. Los Angeles Dodgers are the wild card second team at 66-52. They're up by 7 games. And the Philadelphia Phillies are holding that last wild card spot at 59-59. They're up by 1.5 games over the Pirates. So let's take a look at the National League Power Rankings. We got the Expos are 1, Astros 2, Mets 3, Dodgers 4, Phillies 5, Reds 6, Pirates 7, Cubs 8, Giants 9, Padres 10, Braves 11, and Cardinals 12. Expos are the number 1 team in the National League by a half a game with a 69-48 record. So let's take a look at our American League batting stats as of the 17th. Only some few things I'll pull out here. Indians 281 as a team. Tigers have 175 home runs. They have 189 stolen base attempts, with the Angels having 147 stolen bases and an 82% rate of 82% in stolen bases. And overall here, Detroit Tigers lead in most of these categories with 7 first place in 7 categories. So Detroit Tigers still that American League team when it comes to batting. In the American League pitching staffs, pretty much the whole year, the California Angels have just paved the way. 73 and 45, 36 saves, 340 ERA. They have 815 strikeouts, a 1.22 whip. They're tied with 6 shutouts. As you can see here, they are cruising. In the National League, some things to point out here. We got the San Diego Padres at 271 team batting average. We got 136 home runs by the Phillies. We got 231 bases stolen by the Cardinals in 318 attempts. But the Expos have the best stealing percentage at 78%. And it looks like the Phillies are still holding strong by leading in 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 categories. Phillies just need to start helping their pitching staff. The pitching staff needs to start helping the batters. The Phillies are still the team in the National League when it comes to hitting. And when it comes to pitching, there's no doubt it here. The New York Mets are definitely that team, even though they're a half game back in first place from the East. They're 68 and 49, 32 saves, a 3.25 ERA. A 1.22 whip. They are definitely doing their part. Mets definitely are the team when it comes to the pitching. Astros 340, but the Mets have been leading it all year long. Let's take a look at the disabled list. Some notable American League players that are hurt. We got Dave Winfield. He won't be come back until the 20th. Dave Henderson, who newly traded to the Red Sox, he won't be able to play his first game with the Red Sox until the 21st of August. We got Don Sutton coming back the 22nd of August. Carlton Fisk, whose pretty much whole season has been injury after injury. He'll be coming back the 23rd of August. And like last week, Chris Bando's on the 30-game DL. He won't be back until mid-September. In the National League, we got Dale Murphy. He'll be coming back on the 20th. Got Mike Scioscia. He'll be coming back August 22nd. He's be on a 15-game DL. Catchers have been in rough shape for the Dodgers. Jack Clark, he'll be back the 23rd of August. And then, as you see down the bottom, the 2 players that bit hard by the DL, we got Carmelo Martinez. He won't be coming back until the beginning of September, ending his 30-game DL. And it looks like Pittsburgh shortstop Sammy Khalifa, he's on the 60-day DL. He's due back October 6th. Too bad the season is over October 4, so he's pretty much out for the season. So taking a look at our milestones, we know the 4 players we've been following. 3 have hit their milestone. Burt Blyleven hit the 3,000 mark. He's currently at 3,038 Ks. Steve Carlton, he hit his 4,000 K. He's at 4,029. He's actually over 5,000 innings pitched as well. Mike Schmidt, he's the guy that we're following here. He currently has 29 home runs in the season, 487 total career. He is 13 home runs away from the magical 500 number. And Don Sutton, who's currently on the DL, he was searching for his 300 win, which he got. He currently has 16 wins in the season. He's at 311. And he just recently got past the 3,400 mark in Ks. So there's your 4 guys we're following. And Mike Schmidt's the last guy to see if he could hit the 500 before the season's over with. Now let's take a look at our final American League leaders for the American League. We got average, Wade Boggs hitting 351. Dave Kingman has 35 home runs. Darrell Evans has 93 RBIs. Gary Pettis has 108 stolen bases. Moose Haas, 2.21 ERA. Dennis Rasmussen, again, was denied his 19th win, so he has 18 wins. Roger Clemens has 230 strikeouts. And California Angels closer Donnie Moore has 36 saves. So there's your look at your top 5 in all these categories. In the American League, looks like no Triple Crown in the offensive side. As for the defensive side, looks like nothing there either. Heading over to the National League, we got Tim Raines at 350 average, Mike Schmidt at 29 home runs, Andre Dawson with 80 RBIs, Vince Coleman at the 100 stolen bases, Mike Scott got a 1.72 ERA. Mike Scott is tied with Shane Raleigh with 19 wins. Mike Scott has 226 strikeouts, and John Franco of the Cincinnati Reds has 34 saves. And again, the Triple Crown on the offensive side, it's kind of hit or miss, but man, on the pitching side, look at Mike Scott, 1.72 ERA, 19 wins, 226 strikeouts. He's on his way. But Shane Raleigh's there to kind of upset him a little bit. So that is your recap of Week 19, August 11th through August 17th, 1986. And thanks for watching as always and following. And I try to make this kind of short this time. Guys, enjoy my replay. Keep on following for updates. I try to get done once a month if I can. But always, guys, remember, play ball.